Great, doing great. So I think we talked with you in the preseason,
Right.
And you were coming back for another year and everything. So
Right.
you're almost, I guess, 2/3 or so of the way through it. Full-time starter. How's this season been for you? I know there's been some ups and downs with injuries in terms of the offense, but how's this season going for you thus far?
Oh, it's going well. We've come together as offensive line and improved a lot, and just continue to grow each game. Just trust Coach Han, what he coaches us, and really just believe in what he coaches, and it's paid off.
How do you think the offensive line has performed recently?
We need to get better, and there's always room to get better. Like, there's always games where we start doing good and the stats look better, but, like, the film's just not where it needs to be. And Coach Han has set a standard in the offensive line that we need to set and reach every game. And just because the stats are doing well and the points are being scored doesn't mean everything's perfect.
With Mikey coming in to replace Dylan, do you feel like you guys, as a unit, have had a bit more of a spark in games to play a little bit better?
Protection is protection no matter who's back there, and I feel like that's what's most important about the offensive line is that we block the same no matter who's back there because we're in so many different formations, so many different personnel back there. We just got to continue to block.
Yeah,
Well,
despite
on that point, how does things change when Isaiah comes out of the game and maybe you have Johnny run?
There's always different things that can match for personnel, but the blocking and the effort is still the same. But now based on plays and stuff, that's obvious. That fits to their strength. That's what Coach Malzahn does. He puts us in the best positions for our athletic abilities, and it pays off.
despite all the injuries this season, how's the chemistry growing with this offensive line group?
It's grown a lot, actually, and our injuries, it brings us together because we all going through the same things. Our bodies are all talking to us, so no matter what, we can just lean on each other.
You and Sam Jackson both pushed forward runners for first downs. What's going through your head when you see them struggling to get the first down?
Because we're the bigger guys on the field, and just seeing those ball carriers being able to run downfield and just continue to make plays, it's nice to just run up there and help them and just lay a lick on the defense too.
Marcus, no, injuries are a part of football, playing through pain. Gus coached through pain the other night. He had a broken leg, yet he remained on his feet for the game. I mean, what's that say about the toughness? We talk about that with players, but your coach is doing the same thing.
Right, it starts from the top to the bottom, man. That's what he coaches. That's what our strength staff coaches. That's what everybody coaches. So it's no surprise that he was still out there.
What do you think about the defensive front for SMU, and what have you seen on film?
They're very talented and just very solid and stout. Their run game fits are very well and very similar to how Cincinnati fits things, and they just stay disciplined. And honestly, a lot of the defensive fronts in this conference have just become and gotten better. This is my first time playing SMU, so watching them on film, it's the first time I've gotten to be able to watch them.
Do you have a sense? There's a couple of guys on offense, Jalen Robinson, Ryan O'Keefe. They're from Texas. I'm sure they're going to have more family and friends in the stands on Saturday. Have you kind of heard from those guys? Maybe how important this game is to some of your teammates from Texas?
Yeah, it's always important. I feel like every game's important for them, but it's just a little more special because their family's there. And when your family's there and you haven't seen them in a while, it just means more.
Marcus, back here. We talked to Coach earlier about how SMU really only has one home loss in the last 3 years. You guys have been undefeated at home this year, so you guys know what that's like. What's the mentality and the challenges going into an environment like that where the home team is playing really well at home recently?
Well, that's what you want. You don't want to go there and have a easy game. You want to go there and accept the challenge and play a talented football team and it's a test. So that's what Coach Malzahn always talks about is we want to go there and get tested by a good football team. That's what it's going to take.
Marcus, it seems like, mostly it's the same five have been playing this year on the O-line. I know Adrian Melly's been getting in there a little bit, but just what are you seeing from the guys behind you? Because, this is your last year. You don't have another year to come back. There's
Right.
a couple other seniors that may have a decision to make if they want to come back or not. So there'll be some new faces next year. So what have you seen from some of the depth behind you?
It's a very talented group. Ed Collins, he's done a great job. He comes in a lot in different formations, just does his job. Adrian, Mike Lofton. It's a good group, and I really just feel like it's a development under Coach Hand. He coaches us all the same. Probably the guys that are starting even harder, and there's no favoritism. It's just everybody's earned it. So though they're not getting reps on the field during the games, they're definitely getting worked in practice, and he's just staying on them just the same.
Marcus, I know winning the conference, it might be a little bit difficult right now. There are a lot of things need to happen for you to get back in that mix. But just other than that, how do you want to finish things out as a team individually? Just for your last month of college football, I'm sure obviously got bowl eligibility the other night. What will be the perfect way to finish your college career here at UCF?
Right now, I can't even really think about that. I got to think about SMU. It's a good team. If I'm going out there thinking about the future, I'm not going to do well.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Marcus.
Thank you.
Marcus.